Friday in Salem explodes with tension, betrayal, and one fatal misunderstanding. E.J. DiMera breaks his promise and faces Abe Carver's wrath. Gwen steps into a mission so dark it could destroy her. And Chad's innocent gesture toward Cat Green turns into a scandal that tears his family apart. Meanwhile, Jennifer Horton senses danger closing in, and this time, her fear isn't paranoia, it's prophecy. By the day's end, hearts will break, loyalties will burn, and one whisper will return to haunt them all. The phoenix rises again. Morning sunlight spills through the tall windows of Salem's City Hall, but there's no warmth in the air, only tension thick enough to choke on. Abe Carver stands behind his desk, posture straight, tone calm, but his eyes reveal weariness, the kind that comes from years of disappointment. Across from him, E.J. DiMera enters with that familiar DiMera confidence, part power, part defense, part mask. Abe, E.J. starts coldly. If this is about zoning permits, I don't have time for theatrics. Abe doesn't flinch. This isn't about paperwork, E.J. It's about promises, and the ones you keep breaking. E.J.'s smirk falters. He knows what's coming. Abe continues, his voice low but firm. You told Amy Choi you'd stay away from baby Trey, that you'd give Johnny and Chanel the peace they deserve. Yet there you were, inserting yourself again, pretending it was harmless. E.J. bristles. I only congratulated them. As a father, not a DiMera. Abe shakes his head slowly. That's the problem. You don't know the difference anymore. Every time you say you've changed, someone else gets hurt. That last sentence cuts deep. E.J. slams his palm on the desk, the sound echoing like thunder. You think I'm Stefano's shadow? You think I'll never be free of him? Abe's answer is quiet, but merciless. I think you've spent your life proving you're not him, and failing. Silence falls, sharp, suffocating, final. E.J.'s glare hardens. He turns without another word, slamming the door behind him. But the fire in his eyes tells the real story. By nightfall, that fury will lead him straight back to the one place he swore he'd avoid, the DiMera lab. And when he crosses that threshold, redemption will no longer be an option. Hours later, the storm brewing inside the DiMera family begins to spread. At the DiMera mansion, Gwen von Leuschner finds an envelope on her dresser, thick, cream-colored, sealed in black wax. No name, no sender, just 3 words. Confidential, internal operations. She hesitates before opening it, but curiosity wins. Inside, a single note with a time, a place, and a warning: come alone. That night, Gwen follows the instructions to the DiMera Research Facility, a building few people even know exists. As she steps inside, the air is icy, humming with the sound of machinery. Fluorescent lights flicker overhead, revealing rows of glass chambers and screens displaying encrypted data. Then, from the shadows, a voice: Ms. von Leuschner. It's Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, his tone polite yet chilling. You're here precisely on time. Good. You've been chosen to oversee the next phase of Project Phoenix. Gwen frowns. Oversee? I'm not qualified for this. Rolf smiles thinly. You misunderstand. I don't need a scientist, I need someone expendable. He slides a heavy folder across the counter. Charts, test results, photos, and one name circled in red ink: Jennifer Horton. Gwen's hands tremble. What does Jennifer have to do with this? Rolf's grin widens, predatory. She's not just part of the experiment, she is the experiment. In that moment, Gwen realizes this isn't an invitation, it's a trap. And as the lab doors seal behind her, one truth echoes through her mind: once you work for the DiMeras, there's no getting out alive. At the Devereaux house, the evening air feels heavy, as if the walls themselves sense what's coming. Cat Green sits on the edge of the couch, hands shaking, her eyes swollen from tears. She's just returned from the hospital, still haunted by the accident that put Alex in a hospital bed. Her voice cracks. It's all my fault, Chad. If I hadn't lost control, Chad DiMera kneels beside her, his tone calm but firm. Kat, listen to me. It was an accident. No one blames you. But Kat's guilt won't let go. She presses her palms to her face, sobbing harder. He almost died because of me. Chad hesitates for a moment, then reaches out, placing a steady hand on her shoulder. Hey, look at me. You didn't mean for this to happen. When she finally does, her composure breaks. She leans forward, collapsing into his arms, desperate for comfort, not passion. And that's when the door opens. Jennifer Horton stands frozen in the doorway. Beside her, Thomas stares in shock, betrayal flashing across his young face. Dad, he whispers, disbelief breaking his voice. Chad pulls away instantly, but it's too late. To them, the image is undeniable. The man they love, holding another woman in secret. Jennifer's voice trembles. Chad, what did I just see? He tries to explain, stammering, desperate, but the truth no longer matters. The damage is done. As Thomas storms upstairs and Jennifer's eyes fill with tears, Chad realizes too late. Sometimes innocence can look a lot like guilt, and one misunderstood moment can destroy everything. Later that night, Jennifer Horton Devereaux sits alone in her bedroom, her body trembling from exhaustion and heartbreak. Downstairs, the house is silent, but her mind is anything but. She replays the scene again and again, Kat crying in Chad's arms, Thomas's devastated face, her own disbelief. It all feels too familiar. Too much like the ghosts she thought she'd buried years ago. Not again, she whispers, clutching a framed photo of Jack Devereaux. Please, not again. A sudden knock startles her. She opens the door, and gasps. Susan Banks stands there, pale as moonlight, her eyes wide and frantic. Jennifer, honey, listen to me. I had a vision. Jennifer frowns, still shaken. Susan, this really isn't. Susan cuts her off, her voice trembling. No, you have to hear me. Something dark is circling your family. I saw flames, shadows, a symbol, the phoenix. It's rising again. Jennifer grips the doorframe. You mean Thomas's accident? Susan shakes her head quickly. No, this isn't about a child, sweetheart. This is about what EJ's doing behind those closed doors. He's opening something that should have stayed buried. Before Jennifer can reply, the lights flicker violently. A cold gust rushes through the room, slamming the window open. Susan whispers one last warning. Stop him, Jennifer, before it's too late. Then, she's gone. Jennifer turns slowly toward the mirror. Her reflection flickers, and for just a heartbeat, another figure stands behind her. A whisper curls through the darkness, soft, chilling, unmistakable. The phoenix rises again. Friday's episode of Days of Our Lives doesn't end, it haunts. Chad's innocence is mistaken for betrayal. Jennifer's faith crumbles beneath the weight of her fears. And Susan's vision warns that the phoenix, and everything it stands for, is ready to rise once more. In Salem, the past is never gone. It waits, quiet, patient, deadly, until someone dares to disturb it. And now, with EJ back in the shadows of the DiMera lab, a new chapter of chaos is about to begin. Who will fall when truth collides with obsession? And who will rise from the ashes when the phoenix returns? Comment your theories below, because in Days of Our Lives, every ending is just the beginning.